Hi everybody, Rob Scott here from UC Today, and in this session we'll be focusing in on the importance of keeping your workforce connected and how collaboration tools can help your business compete. So today I'm joined by Julian Lachère, Customer Success Lead and Director of Global Sales at Workplace from Facebook. Today we were going to talk about the connected workforce and how important it is to have people connected in business. So to get this started, Julian, it might be just worth having a quick intro. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do for Workplace.
So my name is Julian Lachère. I'm leading global sales and customer success for Workplace from Facebook. I joined Facebook 6 years ago, first in charge of platform partnerships in Europe. And very quickly, actually, I joined the Facebook at Work. It was the original name of the project. Team to basically take the lead on the sales side. Lots of things have changed over the last 4 years, but basically Workplace is kind of a startup within Facebook. So it's think of it as a SaaS business for Facebook. So it's fully separated from the activities that you may already know from Facebook, like Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger. And so the goal of Workplace is truly to offer a communication platform to organizations for their employees. So it's think of it as a private Facebook and a private Messenger just for the employees of a given organization, with all the analytics, the access controls, the security controls that enterprise need.
Great stuff. And today we are first week of April, right in the middle of the pandemic in the year 2020. So we all know what it's like to want to be connected in our work lives and in our personal lives. And Facebook, consumer Facebook, provides a perfect platform for that. But I was keen to hear kind of how important it is to have a connected workforce and how Workplace from Facebook helps to achieve that.
Yeah, so indeed, like very, very special time. What's interesting is when we think about businesses, most of them, they think in terms of production. So if they build products, they will look at their factories and logistic chains. If they do services, of course, they will think again about the overall experience in stores, and again, like logistics usually is part of it as well. And they tend to think about apps supporting either logistics or finance as mission critical. Think of an ERP, a CRM, supply chain management systems, and many other line of business applications. I think since the beginning of this crisis, fact is information is mission critical. It's absolutely key to get the right information at the right time to the right audience so they can take actions. And these actions will actually have a very big impact on the business, but sometimes even more on the safety of the people, the employees, but also the customers. So it has never been so important to be connected. What we are doing at Facebook, especially in the Workplace team, since since we started this journey, was actually to give everyone a voice. Like this was like our big objective, like give everyone a voice. Not just the people at the HQ, not just the people who already have access to a computer and to an email address and many other tools, but really to the people who are actually in the front line. I'm thinking about people, baristas, for instance, or people on retail stores who actually never been connected before. And today, those people, they absolutely need to be connected. So yeah, this crisis is definitely redefining, I think, priorities for many businesses and the way they address those changes as well.
Julian, do you consider having a platform like Workplace a competitive advantage?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think it's a big thing for companies who already deployed Workplace, and for a couple of reasons. The first one is Workplace is actually used. In fact, is when you look at many projects run by digital workplace managers, it's actually really hard to drive adoption of the products. And because of the familiarity of workplace, lots of people don't need to be trained. Lots of people have less frictions to get in the product and start using the product. So that's one. So first, you have a product that is used across the organization. The second one is really the level of engagement. So again, you can drive adoption, like if you spend a lot of money, you drive the momentum, you do a lot of launches, activities in order to again, like drive awareness for the product you want to deploy in your organization. But what's really hard is to keep people engaged, to retain them on the platform. And this is what we do at Facebook. Like this is basically like the secret sauce of Facebook itself. If you look at the ratio of daily active users over monthly active users for any of the apps, from WhatsApp to Instagram to Messenger to Facebook and to Workplace, those ratios, of course, are super high because we know, thanks to the experience that we have from previous apps and the apps that we already that we ship, but also thanks to machine learning and many other things like notifications and all the other tools to keep people engaged on the platform. The idea is to make sure that people will find the most relevant information at the right time, and newsfeed is actually helping a lot with that. The last point is being able to connect all the people. For too many years, a lot of companies only deploy communication tools to a very small fraction of their workforce, most of the time for cost reasons, but also for infrastructure reasons. And with Workplace, what we want is really to truly connect the entire organization. So you can turn your organization into a collective intelligence and a collective memory. If you only connect the people at the HQ, how are you able actually to get the feedback from the front line? How can you get the feedback from the people who actually is the closest to the customers? About feedback about the experience in stores, feedback about products, even like feedback about just management, but down the chain of management. And so all these things are actually what we see happening on Workplace. The information is traveling faster, but also the volume of information is actually higher. And at the end of the day, when from all the companies that we have, from Nestle to RBS to Vodafone, Danone, or Spotify, they are all telling us that Workplace is actually driving alignment within the organization. Alignment where decisions are actually taken, because then they can actually push the message, but also alignment because there is a common understanding of the problems or the opportunities in front of the organization.
That's really interesting. And when you're deploying solutions, or when customers are deploying solutions like this, what are the common challenges that organizations are facing, even right now in the middle of a pandemic? I know everything's rather urgent and businesses critically need to be connected, but generally speaking, what are the challenges that organizations face when deploying these solutions?
So first of all, as you said, like in the last couple of weeks, we have seen actually a lot of projects being accelerated because there is a clear need and a clear use case for a platform such as Workplace. We see CEOs who urgently wants to be able to connect with all their workforce. So they will run a live stream, for instance. It's like, okay, what kind of solution will help me to actually drive being able to do a live stream for all my people? Some others will be like, okay, so I need a platform as well that actually makes sure that this is adopted. And again, like they need a platform that they can launch within days, not within weeks or months, like within days. So this is like, first of all, like this is the main trend that we see is actually a lot of companies are just like accelerating their project and deployments. When it comes to the challenges, what we see is really like first, the right level of engagement from the leadership team. When you look at tools and platforms such as Workplace, content is the oxygen. If there is no content, there is no reason for people to come back. And the most important content today that someone can actually find on one of those platforms are actually content that are coming from the top of the organization. People want to hear from the HR leaders, the CMO, the CEO, CIO about like what's going on in the organization, what does it mean for them, but they also want to ask questions. So you need not necessarily the entire leadership team to be ready for that, but you need like 2-3 leaders we will actually step up and being able to be open, transparent, authentic, to share information with our people, but also to listen to the feedback and to show care. So some organizations are struggling to get ready to that. That's fine. It takes time. It's a journey. Fact is today, like, unfortunately for them, like, there is a massive need. So sometimes they have to adjust and to accelerate in a way their training to be ready to face those new needs.
Yeah, and a lot of organizations weren't prepared for the pandemic this year. How do you think that's going to play out post COVID-19? Are organizations going to look at their business continuity plans differently? How do you think the future of work what do you think the future of work will look like?
So around the trends, like definitely like the need of being connected with the family, with the friends, with the brands, with colleagues and managers and business partners is clear. And it's pretty clear that now people understand that technology can actually make this happen. Consumer apps, professional apps. So we will see a fantastic acceleration of the digitalization of many companies, even some companies that were a bit reluctant to embrace these new communication tools. That's one. The second one is probably the fact that now companies understood that they cannot just connect 10% of their people. Like they have to connect the entire workforce. If you think about it, like in most retail organizations, only up to 20% of the people had an email address. Like the vast majority of the people working in stores, they had nothing but a poster next to the coffee machine to basically get some information about what's going on in the organization. Those days are gone because those people are probably today some of the most important people in an organization because they can, more than anyone else, take the pulse of what customers are thinking, take the pulse of what their colleagues and how their colleagues are feeling as well. And all this information will actually help the HQ and the managers and the leaders of an organization to take the right decision. So I think there is two big trends happening. The last one as well is, I think we'll go through this over the next couple of months, is today people seems to be thinking as communication tools and collaboration tools as only synchronous communication tools. And I think quickly, and we already see that from some of our prospects and customers, that people see the limit of actually like only work in real time because it doesn't scale. You cannot bring like 5,000 people in a chat thread. Like very quickly it becomes like not manageable. Even like with 50 people, actually, it's pretty hard to keep up with the notifications and the flow of information. So very quickly, I think it would be an amazing way to raise the maturity of businesses towards how to communicate and what kind of tools they should use based on the urgency, based on the complexity, based on the need of memory of the information. So that's what we see with Workplace, that is providing this kind of unified communication platform that will deal with, of course, synchronous communication from chat text to video with multiple people, but also asynchronous way to communicate, to engage, that will let people think more, digest information, to really work and plan through workplace groups and the other features that we have. So I think those three trends, but again, it's probably too early to tell. We will all learn a lot from those, and that's why we keep listening to our customers and their feedback, and we are actually adjusting quite a lot our roadmap as well to make sure to answer their needs. So it's a story that actually I got from a customer, and they were thinking about, okay, what are the most urgent things they need to do right now that all their employees are actually working from home, which is a very, very awkward situation to deal with for a leader. And they came back and were like, the first thing that we need to do is to connect people. We just need to create the infrastructure and the foundations so people know that at any point of time, they can be in touch with someone else. That's one, just to create the highways of the information, connect them. The second key point was about once you have these highways of information, is being able to push the information just to let them know, okay, so the business is still running, or here are the, I don't know, like HR policies we are actually doing for to manage COVID. Like just push information, inform people. And by informing people, sometimes you can keep them safe. You can also keep the business running. The third point is really about answering their questions, listening to their feedback, and showing care. And that's often like where a lot of, unfortunately, tools are not well designed. It's actually, you have some tools, you can connect people, you can push message, and that's it. But the fact is today, as we are facing a very new type of crisis, people are anxious. People have questions. They all have their own stories. Like you have to deal with family problems, you have to deal with economic problems. Like you want to share these things with other people. And work is basically one of the most meaningful community for many people. So you want to do it. So it's a great opportunity for companies to show care. And once you have done these things, connect people, inform people, listening to people, then you basically are able to create alignment across your organization. And once alignment is done, then people can work. But we absolutely need to come back to these foundations of the business, which is truly about connecting people, informing people, listening to people, to create this cycle of trust within an organization. So then people are ready to work. And again, in a very special environment that is like, very unique. For any organization in the world. So it was very interesting framework that I think this customer actually shared with us. And this is what we keep saying with all our customers that we have, from Dixon Scarphone in UK to Delta Airlines in US. It's always the same kind of model that they try to adopt in order to make sure to have, again, like to rebuild the infrastructure to make work possible, even if the setup is definitely different than before.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't undervalue the importance of connecting people, can you? I think that's, we know that right now because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yes. But when we get back to normal, businesses can compete. They can be more productive, be more efficient by connecting their workforce with collaboration tools. So it's been great speaking to you today, Julian.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you joining me again. I'm sure I speak for the viewers. It's been great listening to you today. But for now, I wish you all the best, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Rob. Stay safe.